Welcome back to Who Died Today USA channel. In the past few days, we have received somber news about the passing of extraordinary talents. Today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Additionally, we will recap the stars we have recently lost. Before we begin, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Ananda Lewis, the vibrant and trailblazing media personality known for her dynamic presence on MTV's Total Request Live and Hot Zone, as well as her eponymous The Ananda Lewis Show, died at age 52 following a courageous battle with breast cancer. Her sister, Lakshmi Emery, confirmed she passed away at her Los Angeles home on Wednesday morning. Born in Los Angeles in 1973, Lewis moved to San Diego after her parents' divorce and spent her youth immersed in the arts, studying theater, music, photography, and dance at the San Diego School of Creative and Performing Arts. She later attended Howard University, where she became active with the Youth Leadership and Development Institute, igniting a passion for public advocacy that would define her on-camera career. Lewis first gained national attention as host of BET's Teen Summit, where she tackled pressing issues facing young Black Americans and interviewed figures from Kobe Bryant to Hillary Clinton. Her vibrant energy and authenticity led to an offer from MTV in 1997. She quickly became a fan favorite on Total Request Live, where she guided music lovers through the daily video countdown, and on Hot Zone, engaging with chart-topping artists and new voices in music. In 2001, Lewis launched The Ananda Lewis Show, a daytime talk platform that ran for over 250 episodes. She later moved into entertainment journalism with The Insider, and even took an unconventional turn into carpentry, becoming a contractor before returning to television in 2019 as the host of TLC's home renovation series, While You Were Out. In 2020, Lewis bravely shared her stage 3 breast cancer diagnosis and, in 2024, revealed the disease had progressed to stage 4. She used her platform to encourage regular mammograms and early detection, stating her personal journey had led her to access more of my joy. Ananda Lewis is survived by her son, Langston, and leaves behind a legacy of authenticity, creativity, and compassion. Her unwavering dedication to both her craft and her community will continue to inspire countless fans, friends, and colleagues. Harris Yulin, a respected actor whose career spanned over 6 decades across stage and screen, passed away on June 10, 2025, in New York City from cardiac arrest. He was 87. Born in Los Angeles on November 5, 1937, Yulan carved out a niche as a dynamic, versatile actor whose deep respect for the craft made him a treasured presence in Hollywood and on Broadway. He began his professional journey in theater, making his New York debut in 1963 and later appearing in celebrated Broadway productions like The Diary of Anne Frank, The Price, and Hedda Gabler. He also directed beloved plays, including The Glass Menagerie and The Man Who Came to Dinner. Yulan's screen legacy is equally storied. He made his film debut in End of the Road, 1970, and became widely recognized for his performances in Scarface, 1983, Ghostbusters The 2, 1989, Clear and Present Danger, 1994, Training Day, 2001, and The Place Beyond the Pines, 2012. His characters were often commanding, layered, and deeply human, bringing subtlety and gravitas to every role. Television audiences knew him from memorable turns on Frasier, for which he earned an Emmy nomination in 1996, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, 24, Veep, and Ozark, among others. He remained active until the end, working on the MGM Plus series American Classic with Kevin Kline and Laura Linney. Though he never sought celebrity, Yulan was deeply admired by peers. Director Michael Hoffman described him as one of the greatest artists I have ever encountered, praising his balance of technique and soul. Yulin was married to actress Gwen Wells until her passing in 1993, and later to actress Kristen Lohman. He is survived by Lohman, son-in-law Ted Mineo, nephew Martin Crane, and godchildren Marco and Lara Greenberg. He was predeceased by his daughter Claire Lucido. In a profession filled with fleeting fame, Harris Yulin stood apart. His legacy is one of artistry, integrity, and quiet brilliance. Breaking news. Chuck Norris, still executed with unmatchable vitality and strength well into his 80s, is more than an action film legend. He is a monument to unwavering discipline, resilience, and heart. From humble beginnings to global stardom, from near ruin to physical renewal, Chuck's life is proof that with determination and character, one can reshape destiny at any age. How does a man defy time, beat personal setbacks, and keep inspiring? Let us step into his world of martial arts mastery, Hollywood triumphs, health devotion, and unbreakable spirit. Born Carlos Ray Chuck Norris on March 10, 1940, in Ryan, Oklahoma, he came into a world that demanded tenacity. His early years were marked by modest means and a fractured home. His parents divorced when he was 16, leaving him to face adolescence under challenging circumstances. A shy and introspective teenager, he found escape and purpose in discipline and physical activity. That sense of resolve led him to the United States Air Force in 1958, where he was sent to South Korea. There, he earned his enduring nickname, began training in Tang Soo Do, and later mastered Judo and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Those years shaped not just his physique, but his belief in structure, respect, and self-mastery. After his military service ended in 1962, Chuck moved to California with a focused dream. He founded martial arts schools that were soon training students and celebrities alike, from Steve McQueen and Priscilla Presley to Donny Osmond. Within a few short years, he cemented his reputation as an elite martial artist, becoming the professional middleweight karate champion in 1968 and reigning undefeated for 6 years. In 1969, he captured karate's Triple Crown, marking his dominance and skill. That very same year brought an opportunity that would shift the landscape of martial arts cinema forever. Chuck starred alongside Bruce Lee in The Way of the Dragon. His powerful on-screen presence and agile choreography were impossible to ignore. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, a succession of films followed: Good Guys Wear Black, A Force of One, The Octagon, Code of Silence, Missing in Action, and The Delta Force. Each movie balanced high-stakes action with Chuck's unpretentious sincerity, endearing him to audiences worldwide. The 1990s brought a new chapter as Chuck became the iconic hero of Walker, Texas Ranger. From 1993 to 2001, he portrayed Cordell Walker, a lawman with steadfast principles, an unshakable moral compass, and a black belt in martial arts. The show resonated deeply with viewers, alongside its homage to justice and valor, reinforcing Chuck's image as both hero and advocate. But his path was not free from trials. In the early 1970s, his martial arts franchise teetered on the edge of collapse. Overextended financially, Chuck faced the possibility of losing not only his schools, but his legacy. Instead of retreating, he confronted the crisis head-on, buying back 7 struggling schools, accepting heavy debt, and committing to a turnaround. His business acumen and perseverance shone through. The schools rebounded, and Chuck protected his reputation as both instructor and leader. He did not mince words. He simply rolled up his sleeves and met fate on his own terms. By the 21st century, another challenge crept in, not of finance or fame, but of physical health. Around 2013, Chuck began experiencing a strange pounding sensation when lying down. It interrupted his routines and left medicine records scattered. Through meticulous investigating, he discovered the culprit was titanium dental implants. In a testament to his observational skill and self-care, he adjusted before the ailment cost him his beloved routine. His doctors addressed the implants, and Chuck never allowed the issue to derail his progress. Perhaps most remarkable is how Chuck has aged. At age 84, he shared a video on his 84th birthday, showing him shadowboxing and lifting heavy bags with vigor. He described feeling like he was 48, a phrase that should be hyperbole, but with Chuck, it felt like literal truth. His fitness regimen remains exhaustive: martial arts, weightlifting, cardiovascular conditioning, swimming, stretching, and disciplined mobility drills. He sources his diet from whole, natural foods, lean proteins, vegetables, whole grains, complemented by focused hydration. That still routine demands respect, consistency, restraint, and careful evaluation. In interviews, Chuck reflects on the importance of movement. He reminds us that aging is not a passive decline. It is a challenge to be met with activity, adaptability, and a refusal to stop. He says that people often freeze as they age. He thrives instead, sculpting longevity from sweat and will. His disciplined regimen is not vanity. It is survival, joy, and self-mastery. It is a structured affirmation that every day matters. His career never sharply ends. Chuck has continually pivoted back to roles that resonate, even as he nears 100. In 2012, he appeared in The Expendables 2, sharing scenes with other action legends. In 2024, he stars in Agent Recon, marking his return to lead action films. Even in his 90s, he looks at scripts and steps on set, refusing to be sidelined by years. Beyond film and television, Chuck has devoted himself to philanthropy through Kickstart Kids, a nonprofit martial arts program for young people. Rooted in his belief that physical activity, respect, and discipline build character, Kickstart Kids operates in schools and communities nationwide. It embodies his conviction that youth must be offered structure, guidance, and opportunity early in life, lessons he learned firsthand. However, the program faced a tough moment when a martial arts instructor was accused of misconduct. Chuck and his team responded swiftly. The instructor was dismissed. Full cooperation with officials followed, and no room remained for tolerance in safety or accountability. Chuck's resolute response underscores that his lion-hearted principles are not limited to screen heroes. They are alive in real life, especially in protecting and empowering children. Another highly visible issue is Chuck's public expression of personal beliefs. Though not political aficionado, he has made both conservative viewpoints and patriotic messages clear. He addressed the events at the Capitol in early 2021, clarifying that he was not present and hesitating to support violence. While those statements drew both support and critique, Chuck remained steadfast in airing his opinion. He believes in speaking from conviction, even when doing so may stir public debate. When political complexions touched his work, as when an overseas party used Walker, Texas Ranger footage to push an anti-LGBTQ agenda, Chuck expressed disapproval, affirming that his images should never serve as exclusionary propaganda. In the face of divisive soundtracks, Chuck's own refrain remains unity, empowerment, and discipline. His public life, both voice and deed, perpetuates the message that physical and moral discipline are lifelines, not luxuries. His resilience, humility, and self-discipline shine through every obstacle. From financial rescue to health adjustment, from charity challenge to political scrutiny, Chuck Norris has met adversity not with evasion, but with action. He has refused to let age define him. Instead, he has defined aging on his own terms. As he nears 1 century, he still moves as though the decades have never dulled him. His black belt remains visible in his posture. His voice still carries calm authority. He reminds us that resilience is an action, not a concept, that to grow stronger with age is to honor life. Consider his greatest lesson, not the roundhouse kick or television legacy, but the courage to keep starting again, to forge value in youth, to confront fear, pain, and doubt, to preserve integrity across conflicts, and to move every day as though tomorrow is another stage to master. What resonates most with you? His perseverance in reclaiming his schools, his acceptance of aging as strength, his charity that stands firm under pressure, or his honesty in controversy? Share in the comments below. If Chuck's story stirred something in you, pay his tribute forward. Share it, discuss it, or reflect on your own resilience. 3 words that might capture him in entirety: discipline, courage, legacy. Here is to Chuck Norris, the martial artist, actor, mentor, and pillar of perseverance. His journey illuminates the way not just to survive aging, but to thrive through it, and to leave a legacy not bound to time, but carved into character. Brian Wilson, the genius behind the Beach Boys' timeless sound, has passed away at the age of 82. Revered for his gift with melody, harmony, and inventive arrangements, Wilson shaped the unmistakable summer-infused style of the band, producing classics like Good Vibrations, California Girls, and Pet Sounds. Though his music celebrated sunny California, Wilson carried the emotional weight and vulnerability of a true romantic and musical visionary. Born on June 20, 1942, in Hawthorne, California, Brian's innate talent surfaced early. By his teenage years, he was steering the family ensemble, his brothers Carl, Dennis, cousin Mike Love, and friend Al Jardine, into the world of surf rock with hits such as Surfin' USA, guided by his brilliant production instincts. In the mid-60s, inspired by the Beatles, Wilson retreated from touring to push the boundaries of studio recording and pop composition. The 1966 release of Pet Sounds marked a transformative moment in music history, a rich blend of pop, jazz, and avant-garde influences that introduced heartfelt introspection and sonic exploration to mainstream audiences. Its impact resonated deeply with contemporaries. Paul McCartney himself described it as a classic of the century, and Sgt. Pepper followed as a creative riposte. The single Good Vibrations, with its layered textures and ethereal structure, became an instant benchmark of pop innovation. Despite his creative highs, Brian struggled with mental health challenges and addiction, which coincided with the shelved and seminal Smile project. For decades, he lived in relative seclusion under conservatorship, but in later years he rediscovered purpose, performing live, completing Smile, and gathering accolades like Grammy Awards, the Kennedy Center Honors, and inductions into the Rock and Roll and Songwriters Halls of Fame. Privately, Brian endured tumultuous personal chapters, strained family relationships, battles with mental illness, and control by controversial therapist Dr. Eugene Landy. He later found stability with his second wife, Melinda Ledbetter, and reconciled with his daughters from his first marriage. Brian Wilson's legacy transcends decades. His songs continue to evoke joy, nostalgia, and reflection, an enduring testament to his unmatched impact on American culture and music. His voice and compositions will forever echo in the hearts of generations. Do you remember D'Wayne Wiggins, the heartfelt voice and guiding spirit behind the R&B group Tony? Born on February 14, 1961 in Oakland, California, he devoted his life to music, first picking up the guitar at age 11 and later co-founding Tony in 1986 alongside his brother Raphael Saadiq and cousin Christian Riley. Together, they wove soulful harmonies and vibrant rhythms that resonated deeply with audiences, earning their place as icons of the new jack swing era. Under D'Wayne's leadership, the group released beloved albums like Who, 1988, The Revival, 1990, and the double platinum Sons of Soul, 1993, delivering timeless hits such as Feels Good, Anniversary, and Lay Your Head on My Pillow. Their music was more than entertainment. It spoke to the heart, a soundtrack for love and connection that touched generations. When Tone parted ways in 1996 due to creative and financial pressures, many wondered where Dwayne's light would shine next. True to his resilient spirit, he launched his solo journey with Eyes Never Lie in 2000 and nurtured new voices via his company Grassroots Entertainment. His mentorship helped launch careers for artists like Destiny's Child, Alicia Keys, Keisha Cole, Her, Zendaya, and Kehlani. He also lent his talents to Alicia Keys' Grammy-nominated album, The Diary of Alicia Keys, 2003. Through all this, Dwayne remained a tireless champion of creativity, lifting others even as he pursued his own artistry. In 2023, he reclaimed the stage with Tone, on their Just Me and You reunion tour, sharing old stories and new energy with devoted fans. But behind that radiant smile, Dwayne had quietly been facing bladder cancer for more than a year. Early in March 2025, he passed away surrounded by family and close friends, the result of complications from his illness. Although he has left this world, Dwayne's spirit remains alive in every chord he strummed, every voice he inspired, and every heart he touched. His journey, filled with triumphs, challenges, and boundless passion, endures as a testament to the power of music and mentorship. He was more than a performer. He was a true artist and a compassionate guide, and his legacy will continue to resonate with fans of all ages. Charlie Scalise, the Philadelphia-born actor beloved for his gritty, memorable roles on iconic HBO dramas The Wire and The Sopranos, has died at the age of 84. He passed away in a nursing facility in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, after a prolonged battle with Alzheimer's disease, as confirmed by his daughter, Anne Marie Scalise. Scalise left an indelible mark on television with his portrayal of Thomas Horseface Pacusa, a fiercely loyal and grizzled longshoreman in Season 2 of The Wire. His character, a member of the IBS Local 1514 Union, stood out in the Port of Baltimore's tense underworld drama. In a 2019 interview, Scalise noted that he carried Horseface within him, drawing on the character whenever needed. He made another memorable appearance on HBO in The Sopranos, playing Coach Molinaro in the dream-heavy episode The Test Dream. His character confronts Tony Soprano, James Gandolfini, in a symbolic scene, challenging Tony's criminal life choices with poignant intensity. Born Charles Joseph Scalise Jr. on July 19, 1940 in Philadelphia, he was raised in a lively home above his father's pool hall, where he first entertained patrons with impressions and comedy. Initially pursuing a career in business, Scalise worked as a director of sales and ran a consulting firm before returning to the arts in the 1990s through local theater. His late-blooming acting career blossomed with appearances in 12 Monkeys, Condition Red, Liberty Heights, and TV shows like Law and Order and Cold Case. He also wrote a screenplay inspired by his upbringing, titled It Takes Balls. Charlie Scalise is survived by his wife of 62 years, Angeline, 5 children, and 4 grandchildren. A devoted family man, his favorite audience was always those seated around his dinner table. His legacy lives on through the characters he so passionately brought to life and the warmth he shared with those closest to him. Bob Kubin, the St. Louis-born drummer and bandleader best known for his 1966 hit, The Cheater, has died at the age of 84. He passed away in his sleep on January 20, 2025, following complications from a stroke. Born on August 19, 1940, Kubin developed a passion for music early in life. His musical journey took off after a fateful moment in grade school, when Chuck Berry invited the young Kubin to play drums at a school event. That spontaneous performance sparked a lifelong pursuit of musical excellence. Inspired by the dynamic sound of Ike Turner's band, Kubin envisioned a horn-driven group of his own, a dream he realized with Bob Kubin and the Inmen. The band's breakout single, The Cheater, climbed to number 12 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1966. Known for its catchy brass hooks and cautionary lyrics, the song captured national attention and was later immortalized in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame's exhibit on one-hit wonders. Despite brief additional chart appearances with The Teaser and a cover of the Beatles' Drive My Car, the group's momentum was disrupted when Kubin, then a high school teacher, was warned that leaving the country for an Australian tour could cost him his draft deferment during the Vietnam War era. Kubin remained active in music, later becoming a beloved educator and local performer. He taught at Bishop Dubourg High School and continued to lead musical ensembles for decades. In 2006, he published his memoir, My Side of the Bandstand, reflecting on his storied career. He is survived by loved ones, including Juanita Wheeler, Nancy Rickert, his sister Madonna Kubin, granddaughter Finley Hope, and great-grandchildren Stella Hope and Edison Dreyer. Bob Kubin's legacy endures through his contributions to American pop music and his enduring influence in St. Louis. Kathleen Hughes, the statuesque actress whose unforgettable scream in the 1953 sci-fi classic It Came from Outer Space became a lasting emblem of 1950s Hollywood horror, has died at the age of 96. Her passing on May 19, 2025, was confirmed by longtime friend John Jigen Griffin Attill. Born Elizabeth Margaret von Gerken in Los Angeles on November 14, 1928, Hughes was immersed in storytelling from an early age. Her uncle was playwright F. Hugh Herbert, and though he once told her she was too tall to make it in Hollywood, she proved him wrong. Standing 5'9", with striking features and sharp wit, Hughes quickly made an impression in Hollywood after being discovered while performing in a local theater production. Signed first by Fox in 1948 and later by Universal, she appeared in films such as The Glass Web, 1953, The Golden Blade, 1953, Opposite Rock Hudson, and Three Bad Sisters, 1956, where she delivered a memorably wicked performance. Her iconic scream and promotional photo for It Came from Outer Space became symbols of 1950s sci-fi and horror, endlessly reproduced on everything from advertisements to birthday cards. Beyond film, Hughes was a familiar face on television throughout the 1960s and 70s, with guest roles on Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Perry Mason, MASH, I Dream of Jeannie, and more. She was praised for bringing poise and nuance to both dramatic and comedic roles, becoming a beloved presence across genres. Married to producer Stanley Rubin for 59 years until his death in 2014, Hughes balanced career and family life with grace. Together, they had 4 children, 3 of whom survive her, Angie, Michael, and John. Remembered for her talent, humor, and trailblazing screen presence, Kathleen Hughes remains a radiant star in the constellation of classic Hollywood cinema. Her performances, especially in the golden era of genre filmmaking, continue to inspire generations of fans and artists alike. Jeffrey Duel, a seasoned actor best known for his portrayal of Billy the Kid in the 1970 John Wayne film Chisholm, passed away on December 22, 2024, at the age of 81. His death occurred in hospice care in Largo, Florida, following a long battle with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. His passing was confirmed by his wife, Jacqueline Duel, with whom he shared over 4 decades before marrying in 2017. Born on January 17, 1943, in Lockport, New York, Jeffrey was the younger brother of Peter Duel, a beloved actor remembered for his role in Alias Smith and Jones. The two brothers were incredibly close, supporting each other through their personal and professional journeys. Jeffrey began his career in the mid-1960s, making his television debut in the military drama 12 O'Clock High. Over the years, he became a familiar face on American television, appearing in popular series such as The Monkees, The Mod Squad, Mission, Impossible, Ironside, The Young and the Restless, and The Streets of San Francisco. Despite his many roles, it was his performance as Billy the Kid in Chisholm opposite John Wayne that left a lasting impression on audiences. Duel brought a unique blend of charm and intensity to the legendary outlaw, earning recognition in the Western film genre. In the 1980s, Duel transitioned from Hollywood to a more private life. He participated in local theater in Tampa, Florida, and later pursued a master's degree from the University of South Florida, eventually working as a substitute teacher. Those who knew him remember his kindness, intellectual curiosity, and enduring love for storytelling. Jeffrey Duel leaves behind a legacy marked by versatile acting and a life lived with compassion and dignity. He is survived by his wife, Jacqueline, and his sister, Pamela. Zing, a revered guitarist known for his soulful fusion of rock, jazz, and R&B, passed away on April 10, 2025, at his home in San Francisco. Though not a household name, Zing was a beloved figure in the music community, celebrated for his virtuosic playing, humble demeanor, and deep musicality. He was 67. Zing's career blossomed in the 1980s and 90s as a go-to guitarist in New York City. His most prominent tenure was with Steely Dan between 1993 and 1994, a band whose complex arrangements and tonal precision fit Zing's style perfectly. He was known to have mastered their catalog note for note long before ever stepping on stage with them. He also performed with luminaries like Boz Scaggs, Michael McDonald, David Sanborn, and Sean Colvin, always bringing a distinctive groove and refined touch that elevated every performance. Though he rarely led his own bands or composed original music, Zing released a self-titled solo album in 2011, a project encouraged by close friends. Despite his immense talent, he struggled with perfectionism and self-doubt, once remarking that he still didn't feel ready to make his own record, even in his 50s. This humility and introspection, while endearing, also reflected the emotional complexities that shaped his life and career. In recent years, Zing found renewed joy in playing during the pandemic, rediscovering inspiration in the music of Django Reinhardt. A podcast interview with fellow musician Joel Harrison captured his reflections on identity, artistry, and the highs and lows of a life in music. Zing will be honored in a tribute concert at the Bitter End in New York City on June 18th, where friends and collaborators will celebrate his remarkable musical legacy and enduring spirit. Kadia K.D. Lewis, known for her appearance on the VH1 reality series Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, passed away on May 30th, 2025, at the age of 44. Her death was confirmed by her brother Jay, who shared the news with the Shade Room, calling the time emotionally devastating for the family. The cause of death has not been disclosed, and the family has chosen not to publicly discuss the circumstances surrounding her passing. Lewis gained public attention during her relationship with rapper Young Jock, appearing in seasons 3 and 4 of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Although her time on the show was brief, she left a memorable impression, eventually transitioning away from reality TV to focus on her career and entrepreneurial ventures. Beyond television, Kadia was a highly accomplished businesswoman. She was a graduate of North Springs High School and Florida A&M University and established herself as an entrepreneur, consultant, and financial advisor. Her obituary and social media described her as a branding ambassador and the owner of 3 businesses, a real estate investment firm, a consulting agency, and a financial services company. Family and friends have paid heartfelt tributes to her legacy. Her brother Elijah Inigbedian wrote an emotional message, expressing gratitude for her unwavering love and support, stating, "You left behind a legacy most individuals can only dream of." Kadia's funeral is scheduled to take place at Earl M. Temple Memorial Chapel in Oklahoma City, with a Zoom memorial service also planned to allow friends and admirers to celebrate her life. She is survived by her parents, Deborah Body, and David Clark Lewis Jr., her siblings Rashida Lewis, Nia T. Hill, Jamal Lewis, and Elijah Inigbedian, and countless others whose lives she touched through her work and personal warmth. Beans Morocco, born Daniel Ernest Barrows on June 8, 1934 in Cincinnati, was a beloved comic character actor known for his colorful presence in numerous cult classic films and television series. He passed away at the age of 90 on May 29, 2025, in Bakersfield, California. A Navy pilot turned actor, Morocco began his entertainment journey in San Francisco's famed improv troupe, The Committee, where he shared the stage with legends like Howard Hesseman and Peter Boners. Under the mentorship of comedy icon Del Close, he honed his craft in satire and improvisation. Morocco's career on screen began with roles in Billy Jack, 1971, The Candidate, 1972, and a standout comedic appearance on The Bob Newhart Show. He later embraced his stage name Beans Morocco in the 1980s, a moniker borrowed from a National Lampoon cartoon character. His film credits are a testament to his versatility and comedic genius. He appeared in Blazing Saddles, 1974, Used Cars, 1980, and Eating Raoul, 1982, where he showcased his eccentric humor. He also took on roles in Any Which Way You Can, Once Bitten, New Nightmare, and The American President. His final performance was in the 2024 indie comedy Killing Cookie, where he played an ex-con in Witness Protection. Television audiences saw him in guest roles across classic shows including Mork and Mindy, Growing Pains, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, WKRP in Cincinnati, and Scrubs, among many others. A resident of Pine Mountain Club, California, Morocco was deeply engaged with his community, performing in local plays, riding in parades, and even being humorously elected honorary mayor. He is survived by his wife Diane, sister Nancy, and cousins Gail and William. His son Justin preceded him in death. Beans. Morocco's legacy is one of laughter, kindness, and dedication to the craft of comedy, a true character actor whose quirky spirit left a lasting imprint. Michael Alaimo, a respected theater and screen actor whose career spanned more than 6 decades, passed away peacefully on May 2, 2025, in Burbank, California. He was 86 years old. His daughter, Gabriella Alaimo Thomas, a television public relations executive, confirmed his death. Alaimo's career began with his study of theater at Brooklyn College and was deeply rooted in the avant-garde and political theater scenes of the 1960s. He performed in Joseph Papp's Shakespeare in Central Park series from 1961 to 1964, led a Commedia dell'arte troupe, and was a key figure in East Harlem's Gut Theater, known for its activism-driven performances. He later joined the anti-war theatrical production FTA before relocating to Los Angeles in 1973. There, he quickly established himself in television, landing roles in shows such as The $6 Million Man, Cannon, and Harry O. In film, Alaimo is best remembered for his roles in the critically acclaimed The China Syndrome, 1979, the family favorite Mr. Mom, 1983, the holiday classic All I Want for Christmas, 1991, and the pop culture hit Space Jam, 1996, where he played a doctor alongside Michael Jordan, Bill Murray, and Wayne Knight. His television credits include appearances on Cheers, The Wonder Years, Scrubs, Barney Miller, Hill Street Blues, Mr. Belvedere, and Betty White's Off Their Rockers, showcasing his versatility and longevity in the industry. Michael Alaimo is survived by his wife Louise, daughters Gabriella and Giovanna, son-in-law David, and granddaughters Isabella and Malia. His legacy is one of profound artistic contribution, spanning stage and screen, marked by his enduring passion for performance and commitment to meaningful storytelling. Anthony Dio Jr., a cult figure in horror cinema, has passed away due to complications related to COVID-19. Known primarily for his work with iconic filmmaker George A. Romero, Dio carved out a memorable legacy in the genre through a series of roles that left a lasting impression on fans of classic horror. His most recognized performance was as Private Miguel Salazar in Romero's Day of the Dead, 1985. In that role, Dio brought raw emotion and intensity to the character of an unstable soldier trapped in a zombie-infested underground bunker. The character's dramatic arc, culminating in a memorable sacrifice, secured Dio a permanent place in zombie film lore. Aside from Day of the Dead, Dio collaborated with Romero on several other projects, including Night Riders, 1981, Monkey Shines, 1988, Two Evil Eyes, 1990, and the 1990 remake of Night of the Living Dead. Despite his impactful contributions to horror cinema, Dio remained a relatively private figure and did not actively participate in the horror convention circuit like many of his peers, although he did make occasional appearances at events such as the Living Dead Weekend in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. His Day of the Dead co-star, Laurie Cardill, paid tribute to Dio on social media, remembering him as a warm, funny, and musically talented individual who made filming memorable. She described him as a dear friend who brought joy on and off the set, stating, "Tim was filled with love for nature, his beloved animals, family and friends and fans." Though much about his personal life remains private, Anthony Dio Jr.'s contributions to horror and his collaboration with one of the genre's greatest directors have secured his place in cinematic history. His performance as Private Miguel continues to be celebrated by fans old and new, ensuring that his legacy lives on in the undead annals of film. Breaking news. Tom Celich, at 80 years of age, he radiates a timeless presence rooted in strength, wisdom, and unwavering discipline. This legendary actor and screenwriter has built a career on quiet confidence, deep integrity, and a devotion to health and family that few in Hollywood can rival. Today, we step into his world. From athletic promise in his youth to Emmy-winning stardom, from grueling physical workloads to the nuanced adaptation of age, revealing the man behind the iconic mustache. How does one live fully, authentically, and purposefully in the spotlight for nearly 60 years? Let us follow Tom's extraordinary journey and discover what has sustained him through every triumph, trial, and transformation. Born on January 29, 1945 in Detroit and raised in Southern California, Thomas William Celich was a natural athlete long before he was ever seen on camera. He grew up with a passion for basketball and baseball, earning a scholarship to the University of Southern California. On the basketball court and baseball field, he learned the meaning of practice, timing, teamwork, and the graceful acceptance of defeat. But there, in drama classes taught by Milton Katselas at the Beverly Hills Playhouse, he found a path that would shape him more deeply than any sport. Acting was never part of a grand plan for Tom. He drifted toward it almost by chance, answering an audition call and discovering that it suited him. Soon, he was appearing in commercials, Pepsi, toothpaste, learning to deliver lines with honesty and charm. He landed bit parts on soap operas and television series, embracing each opportunity with patience. Yet fame remained distant. He appeared in multiple pilots, 6 of them unsold, any one of which might have ended his journey. But he persisted, refusing to see auditions as reflections of his worth. At age 35, wealth and recognition came all at once when Magnum PI premiered in 1980. Tom portrayed Thomas Magnum, a former Navy SEAL turned handsome private investigator living in Hawaii. He brought a level of authenticity rarely seen on screen. He performed his own stunts. He carried memories of his athletic past, and his delivery, warm and confident, struck a chord with viewers. Behind the famous mustache lay a man of discipline and humility, and that made the character feel alive. He won the Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in 1985, but for him, the accolade felt less like validation and more like affirmation that staying himself had been worth every struggle. Today, few know that Tom almost missed that opportunity. He had been up for the role of Indiana Jones in Raiders of the Lost Ark, but commitment to Magnum prevented it. Harrison Ford took the part instead. For many, this could have been a tower of regret, but Tom chose to trust his instincts. He invested in his characters rather than chase new ones, and his decision paid off with enduring success and personal fulfillment. Throughout the 80s, Celich navigated both film and television with purpose. He starred in 3 Men and a Baby, charming audiences with charm and comedic grace. When Magnum ended, he paused, to evaluate, to reset, to decide where he would go next. He chose wisely. In the 90s, he played Dr. Richard Burke in Friends, adding gravitas and warmth to the sitcom as Monica's intelligent, older love interest. In Jesse Stone, beginning in 2005, he brought steady intensity to a troubled small-town police chief. And in 2010, he stepped into yet another long-running role, Frank Reagan in Blue Bloods. In each of these, he saw an opportunity to explore a character rather than slot into a formula. His choices mirrored his internal landscape, balanced, thoughtful, grounded. Tom's off-screen life has been defined by similar priorities. At 17, he was involved in a serious car crash, an event that shook him deeply and taught him fragility early on. Yet he emerged whole, fortified by perspective. In 1961, he met Jacqueline Ray. They married in 1971 and welcomed their son Kevin in 1966. A troubling chapter followed when he stepped away from acting to care for his daughter Hannah, born in 1988 with a serious medical condition that required attention and care. For 3 years, he chose fatherhood over fame. He took roles that allowed him to maintain presence at home, putting family first in a culture that often expects sacrifice of personal life for professional gain. In 1987, he married Jilly Mack. Their partnership brought him renewed happiness and peace. Together, they built a foundation on their Ventura County ranch, grounded in love, privacy, gratitude, and shared values. Health and longevity have always been central to his story. The physical demands of Magnum, hot climates, stunts, strenuous sequences, required strength and mobility. He trained with purpose then, and into middle age, he kept going with weights, cardio drills, and conditioning to honor his past. As years passed, he recognized the need to shift. Today, at 80, he concentrates on joint-friendly routines: yoga, stretching, tai chi, swimming, low-impact resistance, mindful walking. For Celich, these are not concessions to age. They are tools for living richly, with movement and curiosity intact. He knows that strength is not measured in plates lifted, but in the body's willingness to carry us forward. Around 80, he realized balance and mobility matter even more than muscle mass, and he pivoted with grace. He walked public walks, even as whispers spoke of aging joints. He entered doctor's office appointments, not as groans of defeat, but as queries to navigate change. When he experienced knee discomfort, he addressed it, rehabilitated, and kept moving. He understood that aging is not a battle to be won, but a process to be stewarded, day by day, with intention. His direction grew even steadier with age. The ranch became his labor of love, not an escape from Hollywood's glare, but an anchor amid its turbulence. He tends avocado trees, trims live oaks, rides horses, works the land. He is guided by simple routines: feed the chickens, check the fences, coach baseball clinic for local kids, walk the dogs. Even in the midst of accolades, the ranch reminds him who he is, a man at ease with earth, animals, roots, routine. Fame comes and goes, but acorns and oaks endure. Tom's values are mirrored in his public roles. He co-founded Character Counts, an organization grounded in values, not ideology. He served on the board of the National Rifle Association until 2018, speaking thoughtfully about responsibility and rights. When excerpts from Walker, Texas Ranger, were misused in political campaigns abroad, he responded with calm insistence that his legacy be trusted, not weaponized. He carried himself with humility, refusing to let others twist him into a symbol he did not intend to be. What lessons emerge from Tom Selick's long and storied life? Steadiness can yield richness. He turned delayed breakthrough into lifelong authenticity, not a compromise. Growth does not demand reinvention. As he aged, he adjusted, most notably his physical fitness, rather than abandon the person he had been. Love and duty can outshine ambition. He chose family, quietly and firmly, even at career cost. Integrity is not irony. He stayed rooted in community standards and personal ethics, even in fame's ebb and flow. As we look back on Tom's journey, we are drawn to the interplay of discipline and calm, strength and restraint. He shows us that life is not any one role or event, but the sum of choices made each day. He gives us permission to aspire, not just for success, but for reliability. He challenges us to balance ambition with care, physical vitality with mindfulness, visibility with peace. What resonates with you? His unwavering pivot back to his ranch, his commitment to fatherhood over fame, his measured health pivots, or his moral steadiness amid public scrutiny. Let your reflections join the conversation. If Tom's story moved you, share it. Because in his quiet example lies a powerful invitation. Grow older with intention, serve with dignity, and live with character. Tom Selleck reminds us that a life built well does not depend on youth or fame. It can discover its finest chapters in reflection, renewal, and quiet resilience. And as we watch him step into new seasons, still present, still curious, that is the story worth celebrating.